Welcome everyone, this is Pilot Needles, and today we are starting a new adventure on a new world here in the Lord of the Rings Online, because they have just opened a new server called Angmar, and along with its counterpart Mordor, these two servers will be the first 64-bit servers in the Lord of the Rings Online. Let's see how these servers perform compared to the other ones that we currently have. We are here in the opening area here in Lindleby, and I'm playing a warden by the name of Pineleaf, so I have a chance to actually use my typical name in here for a change. And it looks like I have met an old friend of mine, Valeric Tuca. Hello there, Val. I can't believe that you're truly decided to leave us, Pineleaf. I know we've spoken about this possibility for many years, but, well, I must admit I always thought that I would be the first of the whole blatant in living memory to leave this hidden vale, and the first to return. You tell Valeric that he's welcome to accompany me, and to his credit and to his surprise, he almost considers it. Then he shakes his head. "Oh, no," he stammers at last. "It's a big world out there, they say, and I don't think that I'm quite ready to see it. But you're the tallest of us and grew for the longest. If any of us has the courage to leave Mist Hollow, I believe that you're the one." "All right." "I can hardly believe it, Pineleaf." "You had better tell grandmother. Maddie, what do you have in mind?" "All right, I will speak to Maddie. The sun is coming up. Won't you miss seeing the sights like this, Pineleaf? There's nowhere else like Lindleby in the whole world. How many places have you seen in the world?" "Hello there, my young friends." Eldrick Tuca. "Oh, what brings you out here on this fine morning?" "Oh, Pineleaf is going to be leaving Lindleby." "Oh, well, take care. We'll see you in the for supper." "No, he won't. Pineleaf is leaving for good." What's that? What'd you say?" "What's all this ruckus?" "I have told you again and again to pace yourself with that pipeweed, Heldrick." "Now, Pineleaf, how can I help you?" "So, what's got my Heldrick all in a bother, Pineleaf? And I have not seen Valeric this excited since, well, since Giza accidentally doubled the recipe for her famous pie fillings. But, to speak honestly, that was quite a day for all of us. You tell Grandmother Maddie that the time has finally arrived for me to leave Lindleby, see the wider world, and have an adventure." She nods silently and taps you on the nose. "It was bound to happen sooner or later, dear Pineleaf. You have always been different, in your own way, more outgoing than the rest of us, and more curious about what lies beyond the mist-shrouded dells. And taller, too. The blood of the ancient Hoblethan is very strong in you. I have always said it. Haven't I, Heldrick? Oh, he has stopped listening to me. Oh, that old goat." "You can't leave without saying good-bye to your neighbors, Pineleaf. It would not be proper." "All right, so I need to talk to Ogi Tuca down the hill, to Vilhad on the path to the south. Oh, here is Ogiva Tuca. You're up early today, Pineleaf. Where are you planning to—" Ogiva's cheerful words trail away into nothing, and her amiable expression is replaced with one of shock. "This is the day? I knew it. I told Vidhad you were finally going to go and set out on your wanderings, and sure enough, I was right. I didn't know it would be this morning, perhaps. Well, not exactly, but I have known for a while that you were planning for just the journey. That is terribly exciting, finally. You'll go down and make us proud. See that you don't. All right? It's a big world out there. I just know it. Okay, I miss you. Now, let's see what he got here. Down this way, we have Vilihad Tuka. Today's the big day, then? Oh, Giva has been telling me you are soon to set out on some adventure or another, but I figured it wasn't really our business. I can't imagine leaving Lindleby, but I suppose every one of us is different after all. Oh, you be careful out there beyond Mist Hollow, Pine Leaf. You knows what dangers you might run into. The shrews are always getting into the crops and spoiling my lettuce, and I expect there are larger and more dangerous creatures out into the wide world. Giant shrews, I wouldn't doubt it. I think the giant part is probably going to be accurate at some point. But has never had much of a way in imagination. Apparently not. And here we are with Irmatuka. I just cannot believe that you're leaving us, Pine Leaf. Emma wipes away her tear and makes you promise that you'll return after you have had your fill of adventure. You tell her that I am certain to return to Lindleby when I can, after I've seen what lies beyond the distant ridges on the horizon. The mountains are awfully tall to be climbed by one of the Hoplethans, she says. I know Valeric says that our people went that way once, but he says a lot of things. Maybe you'll be the first of us to see what lies on the other side of those mountains. If that's true, you'll sure to come back and tell us all about it. All right, I shall do so. You promise, Irma, that you will come back one day. Now. And here we are with Odger Tuka. You're leaving Lindleby in search of adventure? Well, goodbye then, Pineleaf. I'll see you when we return at... Oh. You should say goodbye to Croaker, too. He is simply the best frog friend anyone's ever had. You know he is. You definitely need to say goodbye to Croaker, too. It will be some time before you come back, after all. Now, where's Croaker gone? You hear Croaker's worried croaking coming from the southwest. All right, southwest. That'll be that way. All right. Somewhere around here? How about up on the rocks? You found Croaker, but you also found a troop of snooping goblins. Now, this is a pleasing little valley, isn't it? All we need to do is clear out the current residences. The Oblaton of Lindleby arrived, drawn by the sound of goblins. And there they are! Is this all of you lot? What do we do? What do we do? I say we need this place Goblin Valley. What do you say, boys? No one can stop us from taking it. Welcome to well, Fangland, what seems to be the problem, small ones? Oh, well, it was goblins, but you took care of it, Fangling. Is that all? I beheld something else from aloft. Oh, what's that? I saw the goblins from high above, Pine Leaf, but I saw something else as well. I saw you bidding farewell to your folk, and I knew your mind. I have known what you intended for several weeks now, and have kept watch upon your steps. I hope you don't mind. I'll continue to safeguard your folk, as I have done all the years that I've known you, but you will need to be properly equipped if you are to survive the adventures that await you. You don't have the mighty talons of my kind after all, though you're unusually tall and strong for one of your folk. You are still very small when compared to the great eagles, and to the other people you will encounter beyond the ridges that surround your village. The goblins were thieves, and their leader possessed a bag of weapons. Perhaps you should avail yourself in the equipment. The goblins have no claim upon it, as its former owner cannot make use of it any longer, but in your hands it may yet do some good. Okay. Yes, the infamous get a new weapon trick. Alright, search the goblin satchel. Oh, and what did I get from here? I got a javelin. That is a... Oh, okay, wooden spear, 1.9. Alright, a little bit of upgrade there. Oh, 1.9. Not exactly the biggest upgrade, but it'll do for now. There you go. And search the goblin satchel for equipment to equip, and then talk to Franklin again. Oh yes, eagle quest rings. They're always so hard to see. Do not forget to equip your new weapon, Pine Leaf. I won't be able to protect you when you leave Mist Hollow, and you will need to rely upon your skills and the equipment you are able to find if you are to survive the challenges ahead of you. It is a dangerous world out there. Are you certain that this is the life that you choose? Most of your kind do not leave their homes, choosing to remain near the land of their birth. You tell Felgenheim that your heart calls for you to leave, and he shakes his feathers. And, Maddie. I won't ask you to stay, Pineleaf. I see that your mind is made up. Grandmother Maddie smiles at you and fondly tugs at your ear. Now listen to me, dear one, because this is important, and I will not repeat myself. You are to keep your eyes on the road ahead of you, and you will not worry about us. We have Franklin and the other eagles to keep watch over us, and Little Bee will be fine while you're gone. But remember this, we are only letting you go so that you can bring help to the folk you find out in the wide and dangerous world. You are to make yourself useful, Pineleaf. There are people out there who will need your help, and you should help them. I think that is the calling that draws you away to us, and it is only so that you can answer it that I will permit you to go. So, are we agreed? Then wave to us all, and be off on your grand adventure. And remember what I said. All right, so we need to wave to everyone. Farewell. Farewell. And so you left your family and your friends behind and began your adventure. Weeks later, flames in the night draw your eye and your steps. Oh my, Uruks! Well, we had to do something about that. That looks like I found somebody who needs some help. Oh, hello there. Oh, hello there. Are you a friend? I think so. I'm glad that you came along when you did, friend. I don't know why these Uruks came to burn Mossford, but I will find out. When you return to the store vales, you should warn your folk to lock their doors and beware of creeping shadows. This band of Uruks has been defeated. Not soon enough to keep the Mossbird from harm, I'm afraid, but there may be others out there. The man pauses, and then squints more closely at you. But wait, you're not one of the stores, are you? Oh, there's a bit of Falahite in you, I dare say, although I am no expert in the various families of hobbits. Where do you come from? You are a long way from the Shire, if that's your heart that you found. But I suppose few who name themselves adventurers can stay for long at home. That is true for me, too, as well. I am named Meneldir, and I was once a ranger. What I am now? Well, I suppose I'm still learning that. Might be the same be said of you? Not too sure what he said, but okay. You said Piney's your name? Well, that's an interesting name, and I can tell that there is a story behind it. Though you wish to keep the location of your home a secret, I won't pry. Those are dangerous times, and the dangers only seem to increase. The Uruks that attacked Mossward wore a curious sigil, the mark of a white hand. I don't know the meaning, but I fear that it signifies nothing good. And thank you again for your help, Pineleaf. Let me know if you're interested in helping me learn the secret of the White Hand and to help Mossford recover from the attack. The flames will soon die down, and then the healing must begin. There are multiple dynamic layers of the area you are in. I would say most likely, considering that this is a new server, and I suspect there are quite a number of new characters on this server. Hello there, Manel dear.
Some of Mossward's residents sustained injuries we cannot heal.
Some of Mossford's residents sustained injuries, and they are beyond our aid. We will mourn for them later, but now we must focus upon those that we can still help. Another hands you a small bundle of bandages and a pouch of bitter-smelling salve. This is the last of my supplies, but there is no reason to save them for another day. Bring these bandages and the salve to the injured residents nearby. It's my hope that their hurts will not prove serious, and that these will ease their pain of their injuries. Okie dokie, and it looks like I get some gloves after doing it. Ah, here's somebody right over here. Here, guest. I appreciate your help, but I think I'll just lie down here for a moment. Well, all right. Well, there's an Uruk. I hear someone here. At least she's not lying down. This bandage is just what I need. Thank you, stranger. Okay. And oh, looks like somebody is already helping him. Okay, you need bandaging anywhere else? Let me just double check. Ah, thank you. All right, well, I think that all helped. What do you say, Manel dear? Oh, I see you're checking out the Uruk.
Thank you for aiding the people of Mossward.
The people of Mossward sometimes look down upon the rangers that were once my kin, but they do welcome their aid when it is offered. My former chieftain's riders, they say the distrust of such folk does not bother him, but if that is true, he is a better man than I am. That is true for many reasons, Pineleaf. I have not called the Dunedain my kin for some time now, but I would never question Strider's integrity or his courage. But look here. This Uruk that led this band has something in his hand. See if he can't wrest it from his grip. All right, well, I'll see what I can do. All right, let's see what we have here. You wrest a scrap of parchment from the Uruk's death grip.
A scrap of parchment? You had better read
And perhaps it will better tell us why the Uruk was leading the raiding party to Mossward. Alright, I will try to read it then. Gurnaprach Dogum Gurnargsbat Klakar. It's either in a cipher or in a different language.
Let's see if this parchment holds any clues for us.
Another briefly studies the crumpled parchment, but he looks up, disappointed. I can't read much of this. If this were an ordinary day, I would be grateful to have no reason to understand the black speech, but on this day, it is a cause for frustration. Hold on, Pine Leaf. What has happened to the Uruk's blade? It did not fall far from his body, unless my eyes were somehow deceived. Alright, I hear the children playing to the northeast. Maybe one of them knows what happened to the sword? Alright. Let us go. Looks like someone playing. That does not look like a child's toy. Looks like an Uruk's blade.
What do you want, stranger? No, I am not giving you this sword.
This sword is so much better than the wooden sword that I was using before, and I found it, and it belongs to me now. My father says that when you're in a battle, you get to keep the spoils, and I stood up to those Uruks even when the town guard win it. If anyone should get to keep that Uruk's blade, it's me. Well, wait a moment. You're an adventurer, right? If you promise to help train me in the adventuring arts, maybe I'll give you the sword. I'm not saying that I will, you understand? I'm saying maybe. It'll depend on how good you are at training me. So, what's the first lesson, stranger? What's the first thing I need to know to become an adventurer? First thing you need to know. Well, let's try the toughest lesson first. Now, is there a rally circle anywhere near this town? Looky here. A rally circle. Tagon considers the defeat circle. So, what's this?
I know that fighting is dangerous.
Right. This is where you'll find yourself if you take too many injuries. Yeah, very funny, stranger. I know that fighting's dangerous. That's why I will try not to fight enemies that look too far beyond my capabilities. But sometimes it's unavoidable, I suppose, and when that happens, if I'm defeated, I'll find myself at the nearest defeat circle to where I fell in battle. Yes, that's it. Alright, where next? How about the blacksmith? That looks like a smithy right over here. And it looks like the business is hopping. Scardy nods as you enter the shop.
Scardy spends more time fixing horseshoes than he does forging swords.
I mean no insult, Scardy, but you know it's true. What use does an adventurer have with a shop like this? You explain that an adventurer engages in combat, equipped weapons and armor sustain durability damage, and folks such as Scarred Benblade are able to repair them so as to keep using them. Additionally, shopkeepers throughout Middle-earth can sell the adventurer all sorts of items and equipment that will aid them in their journeys. Scardy clears his throat and speaks up. That is all cost coin, young Tegwin, horseshoes and swords alike. But if that rate is a sign of things to come, I think the swords might become more in demand than they have been until now. All right. What do you say about that? A little something extra never hurts.
Durin's folk shall endure, as we always have.
This quest must be unlocked in your account and can be purchased from the Loto store. Well, that used to be the case, I guess. You receive enough electro points, blah, 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 to purchase the quest. Click on the button on the lower left side. Yeah, you can use the store for multiples of purchases. Okay, talk to the quest bestower to complete this quest. All right, so.
Have you a moment?
Excellent, excellent news. Accept this mount, and it will carry you to and from battle, but is not fit for fighting. All right, so now this is the little extra steed. Oh, yes, that's right. You need the riding characteristic. Oh, look at this. The other quest reward is the riding characteristic. All right. And of course, I have all these other steeds that I can now equip. Ah, the training dummy. This training dummy has seen its fair share of battle.
Now this is more like it.
Alright, so we finished this quest, and I guess we want the ragged leather gloves. Okay, and I currently have no gloves, apparently. Whee! Oh, this poor training dummy. First day of a new server. I'm sure it's going to take plenty of hits. Hobnaggins is here? What? On the first day of a new server? Oh, well. Let's not worry about that. And, of course, all these little... Specialization needed! Oh, yes. Deed completed. New mail. All those fun little things I need to do. Well, what specialization should I use? Well, I think that's straightforward enough. We'll start out with a red line build here. And I mean, there are only 2 specializations for the warden anyway, so I might as well take 1 red and 1 blue. So we'll start out with the red ones since I'll be... There you go. Let's do a little bit of close quarters combat. Apply that. Let's take care of that. New mail. Oh, Bingo Boffin. Well, that's probably not going to happen anytime soon because I'm here in Mossward and Bingo is in the Shire. And a most curious hobbit. Well, I decided what I'm going to do relating to Bingo Boffin. But for now, I think I need to talk to Tegwin.
If you impress me, maybe I'll give you this Uruk sword.
Yes. Explain that a warden builds power purple gambits from basic moves like quick thrust. All right, so I need to use quick thrust or quick toss at the training dummy. Okay. There you go. And now I need to use quick toss. And that's hampering javelin. Okay, quick toss. I guess I have to... Yeah. Oh, I have to do 3 quick thrusts. Okay, fine. Now I see.
That was all right, I guess.
Surely you have more powerful attacks at your disposal. Explain the wardens can weave sequences of basic attacks into powerful gambits by performing a quick thrust and a quick toss. Then a warden's taunt. You can follow with the offensive strike. Okay, dokie. So there we go. Okay, used offensive strike then.
One more. Show me one more skill.
That was a decent show, I suppose. Yes, one more. Okay, so now I need either, after choosing a specialization, use either improved hampering javelin or warning shot at the dummy. And I've got hampering javelin here. Or warning shot. Okay, after you choose a specialization, use improved turn or warning shot on the training dummy. Oh, this says just use hampering javelin. It says nothing about improved. Yeah, all right. The quest text was a little bit overly ambitious.
That was was pretty good, I suppose.
Thanks, that was pretty good. Oh, fine. You've upheld your side of the bargain, Pineleaf, and I will do the same. Here, Mathering's weapons, as I promised. You'll bring it back to the Ranger for me, I suspect? Mother and Father will be pleased, but I still say that I could have handled such a weapon. And it looks like a lot of people are handling weapons here. Good grief, I feel like I'm going to get smashed if I stand there any longer. Well then, we now have the weapon and we can take it back to the Ranger. With that done, I'll meet with the Ranger when we return to the next episode of... That's a good question. What will I call this series? Well then, how about Pineleaf at Angmar? Well, yes, I know we're not in Angmar, we're in Mossward, but we're on the Angmar server, so I think it'll fit anyway. So, that's it for today, and this is Pilot Mules reminding you to skirmish responsibly.